So I figured I'd make a little video on the parts I've been hoarding up here for the old girl. So I found this lately, Paxton SN93 supercharger for the old girl, just because you got to make stuff ridiculous. Also picked up a little nitrous kit for it. Got some LED tail lights. I don't know to go with LED or the old school like cat eyes. And these are 40 Ford. Kind of thinking the LEDs just to be different. Got some motor mounts made up. I ordered a rubber type bushing that goes in between. So this gets welded on your frame. You got to plate the inside to box it off. Then you weld that on. And then this bolts onto your motor, which sits on that plate. And there's a rubber bushing in between it. And then I got this laser cut trans cross member here. It's basically that rubber block on the back of the trans sits on here. And it's got a cross member that it bolts to. And you weld that in between the frame. Same thing when you weld it in, you have to box the inside of the frame for these. This is a rear suspension I've got for it. I got an old school Hallibrad quick change that I'm going to be welding onto that. Then back here I got some window regulators, a couple gaskets, some of those LEDs for the side, and here's the front suspension in the box. I got it from Speedway Motors. I ordered a kit off of rear just because it's cheaper, and I'm using Mercury, kind of like a drop axle, and it has 4 holes drilled in it for where the original leaf springs went. So I'm going to build a plate that holds the leaf spring for the Model A and the shocks and everything, and kind of adapt it to this suspension, which is way cheaper than actually buying like the Speedway Motors straight axle. It's almost like the same design, except the axle's way wider and it's got juice brakes and stuff. So a couple of the things I'm missing before I'm doing my frame is I want to get some new leaf springs. A lot of people have suggested using trailer springs, so I'm going to measure up and grab some. Also want to get some shocks for it too, and floor mount master cylinder. There's some kits on Speedway I'm saving up for, so I kind of want to get one of those, just so I can have some juice brakes on the old girl. I'll be using a combination of 2 frames. This one, but because this one has like some old school farmer repairs on it in here, on the front side of this, there's a big plate welded on it, just booger welded. So my plan is to cut the frame off just where it comes out of the cab. So, and I'll be using this frame for the majority of it once it's all sandblasted. So I'll cut this section of the frame off back here. And then this frame will be going underneath the car for the majority of it. And then I'll take this section here, which has a good cross member in it, and I'll Z the frame. So I'll just take this one, set it on top, but I'll leave myself about 6 inches more length between the two of them than what the original frame is. And then that way it'll push my rad support and everything out a little bit, so I could get the small block in here and then a rad set up without having to notch in the firewall, because I just want it nice and straight kind of. And I got some door handles and stuff on order, some more window regulators, some gauges, whole bunch of stuff, but thought I'd give you an update. Won't be too much longer before I'm welding it all together here. Kind of want to do it in the next couple months. So, and in case you're new to the channel, I got this 383 that I'm planning on putting in it. Then there's the transmission. It's a turbo 350. I got some headers there. And what I plan on doing is just cutting them right here, putting in like 6 inches just so it clears the frame, and then running like a cherry bomb and a piece of chrome exhaust stack off a semi. It's actually like 3 inches around to go down the doors, kind of like Lakes pipes. And got a gas tank made out of a beer keg for it. These will be the rims I'm running. They're old school Keystone mags. And then for the centers, or the fronts, I got a little bit skinnier tire that I'm going to run up front, but it's kind of what I'm gonna roll it on. So stay tuned.